What up, dudes? Johnny Dev here with another setup video for my barbarian versus casters this time. Since plenty of people have been asking me on my Twitch channel when I'm streaming, they keep asking me like, can I see your gear and stuff like that, and you know, I show my gear and then 2 hours later some guy comes and then he says, I want to see your gear as well, and then I have to show it again and again. And because I'm spending, you know, I want to show my gear and justify why I'm using what I'm using, so that if somebody, you know, wants to make the same character as me, as mine, or a similar one, they know why I'm using what I'm using. And you know, it's gonna be, I want to provide, you know, helpful, you know, I want to show the gear, but at the same time just say, you know, why I'm using it. So, and it takes quite some time, so every single time that they ask me to show them gear, I spend at least like 10 minutes, you know, going through my gear and stuff. And if I have to do that every stream for like a few times every stream, it gets boring. So when I do videos like this, it will be much easier, because I will link them to my Twitch account, and then, you know, you can to my Twitch chat, and then you will be able to come here and just see the videos for yourself anytime you want. So let's get on with it, because I don't want, you know, I don't want to make those you know, very long, because I've been practicing those videos now for the past hour or something, and literally the 2 videos that I made were like 30 minutes each. So let me shut up and let me just go through this like as quickly as I can for like at least like 15 minutes. If I can do it within 15 minutes, I'll be happy. So let's go. Like normal enigma. Literally, this is by the way, this is my vitality setup. This is for versus necromancers. This barbarian is not meant to fight versus smiters or versus hammerdins or some other shit like that. This is strictly versus sorcerers, elemental druids, necromancers, and stuff like that, literally. So versus necromancers, this is the necromancer setup. You need nature piece, okay? But let me go for the gear that doesn't change at all, like in the gear that I don't change at all within any of the setups. So normal enigma, the best enigma, 5% life, damage reduction. You don't really need anything else unless you're using a circlet. If you're using a circlet, then you might use you know, enigma of duress for the 20 hit recovery, because you will be lacking hit recovery if you're not using a rat face or some other helmet that has hit recovery. So enigma, normal enigma in my case. Gore riders, the best boots for barbarian versus casters, nothing else. I mean, no questions asked. Use gore riders only. In my setups, with the, you know, with the circlet, without a circlet, arachnid mesh is the main belt. I don't change this belt at all. Triangle gloves, 25 poison skill damage, absolutely crucial. It beats any other gloves in Europe. You can't have you know, Wheezy gloves, wizard spike gloves and shit like that. You can't have that on Europe, so on non-ladder. So pretty much you need triangle gloves are the best gloves to have. Let me go and kill some shit and I'll show you. So pretty much you see this on Grief. Shit, I don't even have no pickup, but okay. Anyways, I got the venom. So pretty much 35 chance to cast level 15 venom on striking. When you get that venom, this level 15 venom gets 25% boost in its poison skill damage because of the gloves, which is absolutely crucial. I mean, there's no other gloves that can actually give you that much of a bonus, you know, on your character. So these gloves, use those, no questions asked. On this character, I'm aiming for 48 hit recovery, 63 faster cast rate. So 20 here, 40, 50, 60, 69. So you need at least 13 faster cast rate on your amulet with the setup that I have. I need at least 13. I got 19. I mean, it's just that that's how they sell them. Like it's very rare to get just a 13 faster cast rate amulet with very good stats. Otherwise I would have bought it. I don't really care for the too much faster cast rate. So pretty much that's my main amulet with life and mana. I have another one which I use for resist here and there with 17 and life and no resist. This is my main ring with very little strength. It's just, that's how those rings go. They have strength all the time, like all of them, you know, the good ones, they have strength. So strength, life, mana, like very little strength, a lot of life, a lot of mana, a lot of attack rating. That's pretty much the you know, the damage, the main setup for this is the ring for the main setup, the vitality setup that I have. Nature piece, I already said that. You absolutely crucial versus necromancers. I mean, most of the necromancers, when they play versus a good barbarian versus casters, most of the good necromancers, they start doing, you know, spirit trains, thief trains. You know, they start death whoring. That's what it's called, pretty much. And when you see them, let's say, you know, you have them on the screen around here, okay, or like anywhere around, like horizontal to you, like from your viewpoint, they're like horizontal. So if the trains are coming from here and he drops right here, all you do is you leap and then you jump in this direction into them. So when you leap and you jump in this direction into them, you're literally pushing them out of the spirit train. And once as you have oak in you, even if you drop in the spirit train for a second before you move into them, yeah, you won't get damage because of the you know, the spirit will your oak will tank the first spirit. So most likely you won't eat any damage, or you eat very little damage. So when you get into those spirit trains, so very useful to, you know, leap to push them outside of the spirit trains and then catch them. Right, now inventory wise, all my inventory, max damage, attack rating, life, all of it right here. And then I need those 2 hit recovery small charms and this large charm with hit recovery to hit the 48 hit recovery exactly. So 30 from my helmet, 40 from the 2 small charms, and then 48 for the large charm. Another thing very important, all my setups rely on the helmet usage. So all my helmets, as you can see, all my helmets are unique basic helmets that have 30 hit recovery. They all share the 30 hit recovery. So all I need to change in the majority of my setups is just the helmet and 1 or 2 rings and a few small charms. That's it. So this is the vitality setup, which I also use ghoulie in, like sometimes versus necromancers if I feel like it. For the most part, actually, I use ghoulie. I use Ariad very rarely, but here and there I could use it. Maybe versus max block necromancer. If it's a max block necromancer, I just, you know, for the extra whirlwind, for the extra attack rating. So, you know, for the extra 1200 attack rating. And I'm not even bold right now, so that's why I have that little. I mean, no, actually, never mind. Even though this attack rating is more than enough versus the majority of casters. So yeah, this is the vitality setup. Damage reduction setup, just putting Crown of Ages on, Raven Frost on, and that's it. Literally, that's it. You stay with the damage hit recovery small charms, and then you have 39 damage reduction, and that's it. This is pretty much the whole thing. Make sure that you have cold resist versus the druid, so that, I don't know, that hurricane doesn't stun you, but it doesn't even matter, to be honest, for the most part. So you're staying like this, staying with the, you know, with the yeah, just I blacked out for a second, so never mind. This is the damage reduction setup. Nothing else changes, nothing else. For the trapper setup, Ariad with Lauren, Wisp, and then this ring with faster cast rate, attack rating, energy, life, mana, and light resist. When you need another, when I take this off, you can see I don't have enough light resist without Anya Bug. So I either put all these, or like this. Look at, right now I'm taking 30 resists off, and I still have enough light resist for the, you know, for the enough light resist that even if I die in the game, I'll still have the 80 light resist. So I'm not gonna suffer from Anya Bug. Versus fire, I don't even like versus fire. I used to have hots here. Excuse me. Versus fire, I used to have hots, but hots, I mean, you don't even need hots, man. They're so freaking BM. You tank so much as a barbarian. You have like 8,000 life and you know, even 75 resist versus the majority of sorcerers, because they die so fast. Even 85, even 75 resist with you know, so much life. You're able to tank enough to kill everybody. So at some point I was like, dude, I don't even need hots here, because I didn't have enough space before to have my Crown of Ages. So I used to have my Crown of Ages on my Merc, but then I said, look, fuck this, I don't even need pots to beat the fire sorceress, so let me just take it out, and then I'll put the Crown of Ages here so that I don't need to constantly buy the Merc to retrieve my Crown of Ages if I need for the durability setup. So that's pretty much it. Versus the cold sorceress, I just put Ravenfrost, this Ariat with 60 cold resist. It has 20 life, 30 cold resist jewel in it. So I put this on, and then this ring, which is similar to this but much worse, with like 40 life, lower mana. I mean, good resist, but overall very average ring. Like, those are pretty average rings. This is actually pretty good. If it had 110 over 110 I don't know, attack rating, it would have been so GG. I really like that ring, to be honest, but it's still okay. Both of them are very budget rings, so especially this one. So yeah, I'm putting this, and because I have so much choice, like versus Vitality Blizzard, for example, the best thing to do is to, you know, if you want to play GM versus them, first test out how much they tank, how much you tank versus them. So you put a bit of this. I have so much cold resist stack here, just so I can like vary my gear. Sometimes sometimes I would not even play with this. Like, I would just put, I don't know, I would just put Ghoulie. So I'll drop 60 resist from there so that I can just use like some small chance from here, and then have the, I don't know, the crushing blow and deadly strike and shit like that, instead of, you know, having the 60 resist from here and having max damage from the small chance, if you get what I mean. So pretty much, you know, you can, it's very flexible versus the cold sorceress, but you definitely need to make sure that you tank like 2-3 hits, at least 2-3 blizzard hits, because otherwise you could just get one-shotted or two-shotted, and it's not really, you know, you can't allow yourself to be too offensive in those situations. If you tank only 1-2 blizzards, then you have to be quite careful, and if you can tank a bit more, then you can play a bit more, you know, a bit more without worrying that you will die super quickly, and you still give them chance to kill you. It's not like it's an unfair matchup, but they still die so fast that you should make sure that you don't put too much resist on, because otherwise it's a boring matchup for the Blizzard Sorceress anyways. So yeah, I think I went through everything. What was I gonna say? Because I recorded one of the videos before, but what was I gonna say? Something that I think is pretty important now that I think I've run through everything else. I mean, I can run through skills actually. Let me run through skills real quick. One here, one here, one here, one, and then battle orders, maximum on that, and then 1 point in the skills, so that you have you know, the skill update. And then yeah, 1 in Warcry, because, you know, some here and there you could get fancy. Here and there you could get fancy with people, and if they're low life, you can just you know, go and Warcry them, and go and Warcry and Zerk them or something like that. So one thing that I wanted to touch upon is actually, you know what, I'll make a different video for that. Fuck that, I'll make a different video because this will be too long. Anyways, so thanks for watching. I think this is, yeah, this is summing up. I have a bow gear as well here. Just let me show you this now that I remember. So you see right now, what is this random setup that I have? Okay, let me put my usual vitality setup. So this is my usual vitality setup. So vitality damage setup. So without pre-bow, 7,500 life. If I bow with like Q bow, which is GM, you know, it's good manners because you sacrifice 4 slots, 4 small chance to do that. So When you do that, eventually you get about 700 life more than normal. You get 700 life more than normal, normal bow without it. But essentially you get 700 life more, but you're losing about 220 life from the small charms. As you can see, one small charm gives 55 yeah, 50. Okay, now it gives even more, but let's see. It gives around like, I'm not gonna calculate it now, but it gives around 250, between 220 and 250, depending on how much life you have, between 220 and 250 life from those 4 small charms. So instead of having 250 life, you have 700 life. But this also gives another 80 attack rating and then 12 max damage. So you sacrifice 4 small charms with max damage, attack rating, life in order to get pure 700 life. That's pretty much the, how to sum it up. That's it. And yeah, that's about it with this character. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for some more character setups. I'm gonna do all 10 characters hopefully pretty soon, and you'll be able to check them out anytime you want. So take care guys, and have a good day.